Hi, welcome everyone. Hope you're doing well today. Marshall here with the Plugs Podcast, a show where we share encouraging advice and spiritual stories, anything that we can to help you have a better day and move forward with the things that you need to do. Man, I'll tell you what, we've had 6 parts of Missing the Mark by Chris. Quite exhilarating series. Make sure you check it out. I have learned a lot about sin. I'll tell you what, Missing the Mark, what is sin? 6 parts. Check it out. Plugspodcast.com. Today, I want to talk to you guys about vision. At the end of the day, what do you have without vision? I feel like folks are just kind of tossing the dice and throwing them on the ground without vision when it comes to life. Maybe they're just kind of making some wishes, throwing them out into the wind. But without vision, where are you going? Do you know where you're going? Vision is everything, next to attitude, and you're going to hear me say that because attitude is everything. But without the vision, what do you have? You don't know where you're going, you don't know what to do, and you don't know where to turn. And with attitude, attitude is going to determine the altitude that you will reach while you're in your project, while you're working. So you definitely want to adjust your attitude. But before we start, I just want to start out with this verse in Proverbs 29:18. It says, "Where there is no vision, people perish." So there you go, folks. Like I was just kind of telling you, without this vision that you need in your life, that you need in your heart, resting on fire, where are you going? Do you know where you're going? Is it just a kind of toss in the wind? We'll find out what happens. So that's what I want to talk about. It's extremely important that you have vision. So if you do not have vision, you need to get alone, find some time by yourself, possibly speak to God, and ask Him. Say, hey, what is my vision? What have you put inside of me? What do you want me to work out? So I'm going to start with that right there. When I think about vision myself, I think about being at the age of 7 years old, and I remember being inspired by the story of Solomon. Of that, he said the prayer of wisdom and wealth that he'd be able to, provide and help God's people, and that was the truth. And I went home at the age of 7, before even saying a salvation prayer, and I asked the Lord. I says, "Hey," I got on my knees. I remember next to my bunk bed at 7 years old, and I says, "I would like to have this wisdom that you gave Solomon for the people, to guide them the right way, to build something beautiful for you, Lord." And when I sat down and I said that prayer, I remember receiving back from the Lord. I'm not sure if it was audible, but I surely know that it was in my heart at 7 years old. And I remember the Lord say, "You are mine, and you will be a minister." And and I know it's weird, guys. I know it's strange, but I feel like my whole life just passed through my eyes, in that very second, like a twinkling of eye, like I've seen my entire life. And the things that I saw were extremely great. They were huge, and I carried that vision with me. And personally, the vision was salvation for the entire world. I've seen the Lord using me. I've seen Him imparting supernatural gifts inside of me, for that I would be able to go and do His work. And that's my vision. And now today I'm 35 years old, and I've been holding on to the vision. Maybe not working it out as I should be, but that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. What is vision going to do for you? Vision is going to build up your passion. It's going to put your attitude in place where it needs to be. It's going to help you determine the goals that you need to set for yourself, and those goals are going to help direct you for where your path, where you're headed. And it's also those goals that you're going to create are going to help you determine what actions that you're going to need to execute for that you can have your desired vision. And one example that I want to talk to you about today is actually the studio that I'm in. I'm so excited to speak to you guys about that. Chris was telling me, he's like, "Hey, you know what? You should do a show on vision. You should talk about the studio, maybe talk a little bit about the plugs and how we all came together." And let me tell you guys, when we came together in my living room, we were speaking about this particular project that we want to make. And we said, you know what? We could do it in Marshall's carport. We can turn his garage into a studio. And time has passed this year, and maybe the last few months, I don't know, we were just like, you know what, We need to focus on this studio. So I'm going to kind of show you guys, because you have long-term vision that I just kind of spoke to you about, maybe receiving something as a child and then wanting to work that out, but also you have short-term vision. So this studio would have been a short-term vision. And at the beginning of the year, we're kind of speaking about it, but we really didn't make any plans towards it. So I want to talk to you about the steps. So number one, what do? Well, you first figure out why you need that space or why you need this vision. Okay? And then you're going to write everything on paper. Everything that you need, you're going to write everything down. And if, for example, like we're talking about this studio right now, what is a studio exactly? So I had a carport. What we had to do is build 2 walls, put drywall up, put the exterior walls up, insulation, throw some carpet down, paint the ceilings, the walls, get some furniture in here, get some desks in here. We have curtains up to help out with the sound. So we had to write all that down. I had to figure out, hey, what's the best way to do this? When it comes to budget, when it comes to, how long do I need this place? So you have to write everything down, what barriers you may come across, because you have to put everything in light for what you need to do. Because if there's something in darkness, it's going to trip you up later in the future. So it's might as well just put everything on paper. And when I'm telling you, I wrote down the measurements of the room. I drew out the room many, many, many times. I just stared at the room. And what that was doing is building up the passion and creating a new attitude in me for I can set goals. And the goal that I wanted was, of course, for this to be complete. It was insane. It was actually October 2nd. Today is November 12th. Okay, guys? So, and I'll have a picture on the website to show you what this room looked like, but it was literally a storage room. I needed the guys to come and help me, and we built a shed out back where we can take all the stuff that was in my garage and put it in there. So anyways, I'm trying to tell you guys, look at this. 40 days ago, this is not a studio. I mean, it was not. It was a wreck. So how did we get there? We wrote everything down on paper, figure out our goals, a deadline. I says, I'd really like to have this done by the end of the month. I'd like to have this done by November. What direction do I need to take? So when you write everything on paper, it's going to help you prioritize your actions, things you may need to purchase, friends, when they're going to come and help you with things. And the guys did. They were able to come and help me with some paint. That was absolutely awesome. It was a good time spending with them. So what is your vision? What is your vision? And I talked to you about short-term vision, but ultimately I want this conversation today to be about your long-term vision. What is your long-term vision for your life? Because when you're on your deathbed, all that's going to matter is what you did. What are you going to look back on? What's worse than death? I tell you, no purpose on earth. That's worse than death. Your destiny at the end of the day is death. That's where you're headed. So when you turn around and you look back, what did you do? What did you do here? Did you make a plan? Did you create a vision? Did you set goals? Did you work those goals out and you determine a path that you want to take? Because without that path, it's just wishes in the wind. You're just throwing dice on the ground. So every day, we all have the same choice: to survive or to create, to react or to respond, to live in the past or the present. You have that decision. And your vision is going to help you live in the present. Your vision is going to help you respond. When you react, you are recalling the past. Okay? So your vision is going to help you stay in the present. All right. So, again, what is the vision going to do for you? The vision itself creates all in you that you need. It will create passion. It will stir up new energy that arises when you spend time with your vision. It's extremely important to spend time with your vision, and we're going to talk about application, okay? What I mean by spending time with your vision, my favorite time is right when you wake up in the morning. What you do is, maybe you have to use the restroom, but ultimately go find a dark room and get quiet with the Lord and talk to Him immediately about your vision. Talk to Him immediately about your vision and say, Lord, what assignment do I have today? What are the intentions that I need to set today to work out today before we can get to the end result of the final vision. That's the most important thing that you can do. And then to recall the vision, to live in the vision, to be there with the Lord in the morning. I would say if you can, start off with 3 to 5 minutes and then see if you can increase this time to 20 minutes to an hour. Of course, it's prayer, but during that time, you definitely want to take your vision to the Lord, because if anything, this life is vision. This life is vision. Because without vision, what life do you have? Okay? So it's extremely important to bring your vision to the Lord. Ask Him for His help. Ask Him to work it out for you. Ask Him what you need to do and what He would like you to do, and surrender your vision to Him. Give it all to Him. Because if things do not work out, you do not want that to affect your attitude. You want to keep your attitude high, because your attitude is going to determine how high you're going to fly. If you're in a plane, down is low altitude. High is high altitude, okay? So you want to fly high. You want to fly high. You want to be up in the sky so that you can see everything, and that you're not down in the mud and you're in that spot. So anyways, your vision is going to help you create and align goals that will help you prepare your full completion of the vision. Okay? Sometimes visions may take decades for some folks to complete. So at the end of the day, your vision is going to help you create goals. They're going to help you stay focused no matter what circumstances are. All right, so vision. What do you receive when I say that? The closest thing I can create a picture for you, such as a vision, would be a daydream. Okay? But you know the difference between a daydream and your vision, something that's having an effect with your heart, something that connects with you. You know the difference. The entire time that we've been speaking, you've probably been thinking about that vision that you've had in your heart for so long that you've possibly been procrastinating about. I'll tell you, the reason why you're holding back, the reason why you haven't started, is because you're too busy looking at the big picture. And that's why I was telling you, when you have a vision, you must break it down. You must put everything on paper. I'm talking about the good, the bad, the ugly. You got to put it all on paper, because if you don't deal with it, again, you're going to stumble. Life is growth. And vision requires correct growth. You don't go from kindergarten to high school. Okay? You don't start college at 7 years old. That doesn't happen. You would skip so many experiences and so many well-deserved education, for your age. You would miss out on that. So it's really important that you understand that you must put everything on paper, for you can determine what step you need to focus on today. And then you'll be able to propel yourself. Then you'll be able to push into your vision. You'll be able to push yourself, because you'll be focusing on that one step. And you know what? I did find that list, and I would love to show you guys for the studio, because and here it is. It says studio October 2nd, 2020, and it says dry fit, measure, drill holes. I guess is everything that I needed to do. Install track lighting and install TV brackets, install carpet, and I put last next to that because carpet would be last. Install glass storm door, hang book bags, hang ladder shelf. So anyways, just kind of going over that list. You have to put everything down on paper for you can focus on that one step that you need for the day. So you're going to have your ultimate vision. Let's talk about mine. My ultimate vision at the end of the day is to be traveling all around the world with the Lord's word inside of me, and for folks to receive it like it's fresh water, and for them to be so excited and turned up and on fire for the Lord. And for me to witness that, and for me to be there, and for me to die knowing that I worked really hard and I gave it all I got. That's my vision. What have I worked out? You got to put everything on paper. You got to figure out, where am I going to start? You don't build a skyscraper from the top to the bottom. You start with the foundation. So you really got to build your foundation. You got to understand that preparation is everything. You know, folks don't understand that when you go and paint a car, they think you just roll into a booth and someone just starts, painting everything. No. They have to work on that car. They have to prepare. They have to prepare everything for the paint. They have to sand certain spots, clean it with special chemicals. Literally, the preparation is more than 50% of the entire project. And so many folks, including myself, lack on preparation. You got to write everything down on paper. And I'm going to keep saying that, because if you don't, you're missing out. It's good to type things out after you write it on paper, but first you must write it on paper. There is something inside of us to want to write things down. When you write something down with a blue or black pen, for some odd reason, your body is programmed to write these things on your heart. For some odd reason, when you're writing with your hand, it's like you're programming your system, like you're programming a computer. And you know what? I do have a verse to talk about that. It's in, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but Habakkuk, so Abakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that they may run that readeth it. So he was like, so the folks that are walking by, they'll see it. That's marketing. So when you have a vision, you have to break these pieces down to figure out, what am I going to market to myself today? There's many of companies out there, and I want to do my best not to mention any of them, but one might say, enjoy this drink. And you're already thinking, well, that drink must be a joy. It must be enjoying to have that drink. I think that I'm going to enjoy me one. That was a subliminal message to you, for you to take their product and for you to drink it, and you did. So that's what you have to do to yourself. You have to market to yourself. And it starts first thing in the morning. It starts with your talk with God. Hello, Lord. Thank you. I love you. Show him gratitude. Honor him. And then remind him of the vision that he's placed in your heart. And that you would like to know, what do I need to do today? What steps do I need to do today? And then you go quiet. You get in silence. And I don't care if 3, 4, 5 minutes pass. And if you hear nothing, you stay silent. He will come. He will come. You will hear him. It may not be an audible voice. It may be through a thought. It may be through your heart. Either way, you're going to know when the Lord Almighty is speaking to you. Especially if you're in the Word of God. Especially if you're reading the book. You'll know how he talks. So when you do get a thought, and if it's not of him, you'll say, oh, that's not of him. I reject that. No big deal. So anyways, that kind of, that's kind of speaking on to the, how to hear from God. But it's very important that you market to yourself your vision. Okay? You got to be creative. What ads do you personally like? That's what I think. I say, marketing. I'm not really good at marketing. Okay, maybe I am. I don't even know it. I'm not good at sales. A lot of people say that when they're awesome at sales. That's all we do is sell to our mother. We sell to our parents. We sell to when we're in a job interview. You must sell yourself. So anyways, you are a good salesman. You are a good marketer. Come up with some ideas. Grab some other ideas. Maybe, what ads do you already like? Is there a certain candy bar that you like? Is there a certain software design or a certain commercial that you like? Gather some ideas to give yourself, some suggestions of what visuals that you can put around your work area, or maybe put in your wallet, or put on your phone, on your home screen. That's really exciting. To put something on your home screen. You're probably listening on your phone right now, but when you open up your phone, what do you see? What do you see? What are you programming yourself? Because I remember when we had watches. You remember when we had those? I forgot the story, but there was some man back in the day, and he wanted to check and see how many times he looked at his watch. So he put a pocket watch in his pocket, and then every time that he would go to check his check the time, he would click it, and that would show how many times. And I think he was checking his watch like more than 300 times a day. I mean, there's only 24 hours, and you're only up for 16, 18 hours. Why are you looking at your watch 300 times a day? So anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is that you have that phone, and you know well that you're looking at that phone more than 100 times a day. You know that you're looking at that phone more than 5 times an hour, which would be 40 times in an 8-hour period. So what is on your home screen? Okay, let's forget about it. Even if you're not, even if you're like, oh no, Marshall, I'm only looking at it once a day. That's okay. This is still for you. What is on your home screen right now? I'll tell you what's on mine right now. It needs to be updated. The background is a full moon at night with the ocean waves underneath it. And then I have 2 downloads from Chris, Holy Ghost Power, and then also another song that he has not released that helped me with my motivation. It's actually titled Motivation. And then I have New King James Bible app right on the very first. So when I put my phone up and the weather, I see the weather, I see the Bible, and I see these 2 songs. So immediately I'm thinking, do I want to read my Bible? Do I want to play these 2 songs? So think about that, and this is something that I can upgrade for myself and make it a much, much better. See, just when you're teaching others and when you're talking to them, I tell you, you learn so much. I'm learning so much right now just by speaking to you guys. It makes me, it's building up my passion. It's gathering my attitude. My attitude is rising right now as I talk to you guys. And I'm learning so much as I'm teaching you. And that's why I'm encouraging you right now. You got to get out there and you got to teach. Because that's when you change. So yeah, the home screen, so I was telling you, you got to market to yourself. You got to have that vision always on about, whatever your vision. For the studio, for example, I went to Google and I looked at hundreds of pictures of studios. Does my studio look anywhere near theirs? No, it does not. I have a desk. Excuse me. I have a desk that hangs from the side of the wall that I created. I really like it. Nothing special. There's no sound booth or anything like that in here, but it's everything that we need. But I looked at several pictures, and it is really good to market to yourself. So anyways, let's get back to the marketing. Again, you're going to want to place your vision somewhere where you can see it. Maybe it's a paragraph. Maybe it's a few words. I don't know. You want to put those in somewhere where you can see them in your house, in your wallet, on your phone. I want to tell you that it's extremely important that you select who you're going to share your vision with. You may not want to share your vision with your parents. You may not want to share your vision with your friends, all depending on how their attitude and how their perspective is on things, because a secret is only as powerful as many as people know of it. Okay, I say that you actually want to be silent. About your ultimate vision. You don't want to scatter it everywhere. For me, I'm 35 now. I've lived with this vision for almost 30 years, and there's no turning back. The vision is in place. I am working it out, so I can't talk to you guys about that. I'm not in the beginning phase. And the reason why I say that is in the beginning phase may be the very first 5 years of your vision. You really don't want to spend too much time speaking about the full vision to other people, not realizing who they are, what they're going to respond with, because whatever they respond with, their opinion or whatever they might say, may have an effect on your heart. And if that has an effect on your heart, that may hinder you from meeting your goals, from executing the actions, and letting your passion and your attitude rise to get it done because it maybe is something that they said. So one way that I select my friends, say, particularly Chris, he's an excellent friend. I've never met anyone else like that. Man, my gosh. Chris, one way that you can weigh it out is Chris was telling me about his vision. And because he understands I'm a positive person, that I would support his vision and tell him that there's nothing that he cannot do. So he shares his vision with me. I understand, okay, he shares his vision with me. I'm positive with him. I can share my vision with him. He's going to help my passion. He's going to help my attitude. So it's extremely important that you select who you share your vision with. And there's no need to go to others for recognition. No need. Because God is your only source of joy. He is your source of approval. You go to him. You go to him in your prayers. You go to him in your quiet time. You go to the Lord when you're having coffee, tea, just sitting under a tree. Just sitting under a tree in the grass with God, God of the universe. Just to discuss life. Just to say, hey, how you doing? Have you ever done that? Have you ever just said, hey, God, how you doing? Try it out. Guarantee you, he'll surprise you. He will respond to your question. God always responds. Sometimes before you even ask. Now, it's important to be respectful and patient with the Father. And you must have faith as a child. You must listen to him. It's hard to describe. All I can say is kind of like a fast download. My joy is overwhelming at times while he is speaking. Sometimes I just soak the info in and don't even catch the words because I'm just so in awe that it is possible that the God of the earth has spoken to me. You must have faith as a child to speak to the Lord. You must have faith as a child to work out your vision. You must. You must break down your vision. You must write it down on paper. You must remind yourself of the vision that you have given yourself for your life and conquer those goals and celebrate when you conquer those goals. Have a good time. Live in the present. Your vision will help you live in the present. It will help you stay in the present. So today has been quite an amazing time talking about vision, and I'm sure I'm going to talk about it again. It's something that I really enjoy speaking about. I want you guys to send me a note if you have any questions about today's series at theplugspodcast.com, theplugspodcast@gmail.com. Either way, just go to our website, send us a message, let us know how you're doing, share and tell your friends. I also want to mention that we are looking for volunteers. We're currently a part of some mission trips right now that are taking place in the Uganda area, Uganda, Africa. It's quite amazing. It's been going on for about 3 months now, and I really would like to share that with you. Maybe the next episode we can talk about that. Let's talk about what the Plugs is doing across the world. And it's nothing to brag about. It's just what God has given us. We asked and the Lord gave. Now I have a very, very, very good friend across the world. And he inspires me every day. His name is Namnateza Patrick. You can check him out on Facebook. You can check out his website, ugandaforchrist.org. Please check it out. Make sure you subscribe to the site. There's going to be many exciting events coming in the future. All right. Well, I enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. Again, this is Marshall with theplugspodcast.com. This is a place where we do our best to spread the encouraging advice and spiritual help in any way that we can possible. Make sure that you're being real and trusting in the Lord and having faith as a child. Work out that vision. Share with others that share their visions with you. And be safe.
Yes.